What's up, everybody? It's CMP with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com. If you haven't been by Studio1Tutorials.com and picked up CMP 555 MIDI drum pack inspired by the 444 album, you were just producing boom bap way too hard on yourself. Now, I wanted to just do a quick talk, rant, whatever, about the French Montana on the Breakfast Club not knowing the name of the person who produced his Unforgettable song, and that shit led to just a lot of comments in the comment section and on Twitter, and just a whole bunch of fucking people crying like producers don't get enough credit and we should get more credit. Like, dude, like, that shit is such a fucking garbage attitude to have. Like, I don't know why it fires me up and it makes me want to talk, but it just does, man. And here's why. Like, producers do get credit. They get credit in the credits. The actual producers of the record. See, the thing that people got fucked up is you think you could hack a DAW and hack a bunch of VSTs, because I don't know how to save money and I have to make music, it's my dream. And a lot of motherfuckers are entitled to this shit, man. Like, the thing about being recognized as a great producer is you have to fucking produce the great records. You know what I mean? Like, if you're just if you're just out here in a DAW programming 808s and 4-note melodies and a few block chords, and a rapper stunts on your track and turns it into a hit, you know what I mean? Like, you don't necessarily deserve to have your name credited in the video and your name, and your tag on the front of the beat. Like, that's a decision for the artist to make. The actual producers of these songs are the people who are in the studio getting this music out to people. And it's the great thing about the internet is you as a beat maker can reach out and be more accessible and forge relationships that you might not be able to have if you weren't in a studio situation, or if you weren't in the inner circle of the best studios where these records are being recorded. And that's a good thing. The bad thing is it takes you out of the production process, because making a beat is not producing a record. I'll say that shit again, bro. Making a beat is not producing a record. Producers, Jimmy Iovine, Dr. Dre, Quincy fucking Jones, Rick Rubin, all of those guys, they get credit because they're great producers. Like, actual producers. Pharrell Williams, you know what I'm saying, Puff Daddy, they all get credit because they're great producers. They produce records that are timeless and stand the test of time. A motherfucker, making a hard ass, slapping ass trap beat, and the song gets 1 million views on SoundCloud. Like, what have you done? You got 1 million views on SoundCloud. Did you make something timeless? Is that shit gonna be played in a movie 20 years from now? That's gonna be an iconic moment in the history of America? Probably not, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's that's the thing that you have to understand, that when you get into this music shit, your competition and your standard of what you're going up against transcends just the the quote unquote producer community that people just throw that fucking term around. Like what the fuck is the producer community? Who are these producers? What are they actually producing? Are they producing BeatStars pages? Are they producing Airbit pages? Like, that's the extent of our production. That's what we're limiting ourselves and we're defining ourselves to. That's why I think that it pisses me off so much, because people think that just because they make a rap beat and it turns into a rap song and people stream it, that all of a sudden they're entitled to have their fucking name mentioned with people who made undeniable classics. You know what I mean? Like, in order to get this massive credit and this massive name recognition, you have to do more than sit in front of the computer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take someone like Dre, right? Who you can make the argument that he's the greatest hip hop producer, and the first thing that an artist will tell you about Dre is and watch any interview, they'll be like, yo, he actually produces you. He's in the studio with you, and you know, he'll tell you put your voice like this and drop this part like this, and he chops the beat up like that. That's a producer. And the reason why you know his name isn't because he's fucking rich or because he's in the Illuminati or because he's on Interscope, because he wasn't always. The guys from goddamn Compton, he used to be a fucking DJ, you know, like he started out at the absolute bottom and became the first hip-hop billionaire. That's why you know his name. If you are a producer and you're on Twitter and you see somebody make a rap beat that got plays on SoundCloud or a rap beat that got plays on YouTube, and you don't think they're getting enough credit, you don't fucking understand what credit is and why it gets given to people. It gets given to people for doing great, impactful things that change the landscape of music. And I'm not saying all this to be like, yo, you guys shouldn't talk and you guys shouldn't have ideas, but I just feel like you know, this generations of producers are very short-sighted in their goals. Like, the goal isn't to get a placement with a rapper. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, the goal isn't for everybody to fucking know that you got a placement with a rapper. The goal isn't for everybody to know that you made this beat on this song. That's not the goal. The goal is to make a motherfucking classic. The goal is to make something so undeniably dope that people talk about it for fucking ever. That's the goal. The goal isn't to get a like on Facebook or on the fucking gram. The goal isn't to get 1 million goddamn followers. The goal is to make something and create something that is so fucking special that people talk about it to their goddamn kids. So tighten up and cut this fucking producers need more credit. No, producers need more classics.